Welcome to Housing for Good, a podcast dedicated to housing topics and issues affecting our communities in McPherson County and beyond. With years of experience and expertise, hosts Chris Goodson and Karolyn Moore discuss housing challenges and opportunities with other experts from a variety of housing fields.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Housing for Good. I'm Karolyn.
And I'm Chris.
So, Chris, you know, things are kind of heating up in the news with President Trump signing his executive orders. The Special Committee on Available and Affordable Housing that met middle of November, and we talked about the stuff that they went over in that committee, all the people that testified, the questions that were asked. Well, those lawmakers have 3 ideas that they want to right away get started on to make housing in the state more affordable. So Republican Representative Sean Tarwater of Stillwell actually led that committee. He pointed out that we already have programs that are currently working, and he doesn't feel like some of them have had enough time to make sure how they're going to work or not. So he's encouraging them to just kind of let things run with our programs. They want to review tax incentives, and it says that that would encourage more affordable housing to be built. KHRC manages those state tax credits, and that they've developed nearly 5,000 homes in the past 2 years. So they want to continue that. They also want to rework the state zoning laws. Right now, they're all based upon land use, and he feels like looking at mixed zoning would be a little bit more beneficial so that you can have residential as well as commercial all in the same area. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. One thing that we were really excited to hear about was the ceiling of eviction filings. When testimony was given on eviction filings, they said that the way this works is the landlord, because you're behind on your rent, the landlord can begin that eviction process in court, but maybe things get settled and you never get convicted of eviction. You never get evicted, technically, but that's still in the court system, and that record can still show up, even though you were never legally evicted. So they want to do some work to kind of stop that from happening.
Yeah.
So that'll be really exciting. And I feel like all 3 of those proposals are really good steps. We'll just have to stay informed and watching.
So what I would like to see there is maybe they help some of the smaller nonprofits. It is more difficult for a smaller nonprofit like McPherson Housing Coalition to compete against a large nonprofit or for developers that are for-profit.
Yeah.
It's really hard for us to compete, and I feel like there should be 2 different systems. Maybe one for the smaller nonprofits, they put some money aside, and then maybe they put some money aside for the larger nonprofits, and then that way we're not trying to compete against something. It would be like a Division I school competing against an NAIA school, or a large high school competing against a high school that's, playing different, has way less athletes than the other one. I don't think it's a fair playing field.
Yeah.
And the thing about smaller nonprofits like us is that we can really give a client more one-on-one and help them out of poverty. We can get them moving forward. These for-profit developers, they're not interested in providing those services.
Yeah, they don't do any of that.
So it really needs to be, and I would love to see this type of legislation come about where we are able to have that money in 2 different pots so that we have a chance at getting some of these developments smaller. We're not trying to build a 150-unit complex, but maybe we just build 10 or 15, and it can really make an impact in our communities. That's what I want to see.
And when we go to Topeka, maybe that's a conversation we have with somebody. So I have some information here this is from Housing Wire. We try not to be political, but we do like to at least let you know what's going on. So with Trump's executive orders, it's going to have an impact, or they think it's going to have an impact on home builders, which of course then it raises the prices of homes. It makes it a lot more difficult for people to be able to afford a new home. It all kind of trickles down a little bit. I'm not talking about a trickle-down theory or anything, but if I can't move up because it's costing way too much for me to build a new home, I'm going to stay where I'm at, which then takes that away from maybe a college kid or first-time home buyer. First-time home buyers, yeah.
So I have some, that concerns me a little bit, but according to the National Association of Home Builders, they released a statement in support of the latter, which is Let's see, it says NAHB commends President Trump for acting on day one to make housing a national priority, which I'm really excited about that.
Yep.
By issuing an executive order that seeks to lower the cost and increase the supply of housing. And then it goes on to state President Trump understands that America is facing a housing affordability crisis, and the only way out of the crisis is to remove barriers like unnecessary and costly regulations. The impact of each of these executive orders on home builders is uncertain, and in some cases they are contradictory. So that's the part we have to really concern ourselves, is how is that contradictory? But it is safe to say that many of Trump's proposals and executive orders could cause short-term issues for home builders. So in the long run, it might be helpful, and in the short run, maybe some of those tariffs could push their costs up, because I think we buy a lot of our lumber from Canada.
We do, yes.
So anyways, it'll be interesting from our point of view to kind of keep an eye on what's going on at the federal level, at the local level, and at the state level, just to see what's happening there.
Yeah,
So,
we just have to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
And we bring you this news, like Chris said, we're not trying to be political. We're just trying to make sure everybody is aware and kind of listening for those key words that you hear on the news, or when there's a decision that's made about how that might impact housing and the folks that need it.
And I do want to say something really quick. So Brush Up Mac, April 19th. If anybody in McPherson County wants to participate, just give us a call, 620-241-7828, extension 11 or 17.
Yes. And I just sent out to churches. All the area churches are going to be receiving a letter that has both a homeowner application and a volunteer application. So if you are hearing this and you attend a church in the area and you would like to put together a group, maybe your youth group or just a group of folks from your small group or something, you can certainly do that. Check with your church office. They'll have a form.
Perfect. Okay, I want to see who's our guest today,
I know.
Karolyn?
I've been excited about this one. We had Sally scheduled, and then some things happened, and we had to postpone. So we're finally here with Sally Scott. Sally is with our McPherson Senior Center. So Sally, introduce yourself to us and tell us about the Senior Center.
Well, hello. My name is Sally Scott. I'm the director at the McPherson Senior Center. I have been for about 6 years now. So
Wow.
The Senior Center is located at 112 East Euclid. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and we serve lunch there. We call it the happy place. We try to bring in the fun and also offer a variety of services for our seniors 55 and older.
So what kind of stuff do you offer to the seniors that come there?
Well, as far as activities, we do a lot of things. We have an aerobics class that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that's from 8:30 to 9:30. And then these wonderful ladies, we did have some men, but it's all ladies right now. And they stay for coffee afterwards. So we do have a few coffee groups that are a lot of fun. And our coffee is 25 cents a cup. So we're...
Man.
Oh my gosh.
We could go get our little
I wish
thing
I
and
was
fill
a-
it up.
I wish I
Well, that
was a
happens.
coffee
Me
drinker.
too. I'd be going over there every day for my coffee, 25
and
cents.
Wednesdays, coffee's free, and
Wow.
we offer a treat or something.
Man.
That's free coffee Wednesdays. And this is all due to coffee sponsors that do a monthly $10 fee that we charge, or their donation. And then we also have some small businesses that have come along, and they've become sponsors for the entire year. So we really count on them. Last month we got 12 new sponsors. So we're
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
You're
our
good for the
business-
year.
Yeah, we're
That's-
really good.
that's
Well, I
really-
don't want to say that because we're always willing
Well,
to
okay,
take a
they
check.
might need money for something else, so
Yeah,
we'll
correct.
just say that. But so how
That's
many?
awesome.
Yeah, how many seniors would you say? And it's 55 and older, right?
Correct.
It's not just 65 and older, which is what I would have thought of. That maybe would be more
Well,
senior.
we're always trying for the younger crowd too,
Okay.
and they all mix together and have lunch. There's a lot of stories going around that place. We
I
have
can only imagine. They probably are solving the world's problems.
one problem at a
Yes,
time.
that's perfect.
We have a senior pool group that's a traveling group, and they go to all the other senior centers, and they're a lot of fun. Then they come and practice. I don't know why they need so much practice, but we love to have them every day. So we have 4 pool tables, and they're constantly at it.
Wow.
We got a bingo on Tuesdays, and it's a white elephant bingo. Everybody just donates prizes for us, so we're...
Okay, that sounds like fun. Now, you guys have public transportation.
We do. We offer public transportation. In fact, a lot of our funding comes from KDOT. We work with the McPherson County Council on Aging. Terry Bolte there. She's kind of coordinates all the senior centers, their transportation. And we have 2 buses. One goes out of town for doctor visits. We'll even pick up out of town and take you to your doctor visit. And we have just general public transportation. And we pick you up at your door, and we take you wherever you need to go.
It's very inexpensive, right?
Yeah, it's $1 away.
Even out of town?
No, out of town is $10 or $20, depending on how far it is.
That's a big thing in our county is the lack of transportation,
Yes.
and it's so nice that you're able to do that. Do you have to be a senior to ride on the bus?
You do not.
So if I needed to go to a doctor's appointment out of town, I could call and you could...
Absolutely. We're really busy on that end because it's a good service. We have people on dialysis and treatments or whatever, but we do go to Wichita, Newton, Hutchinson, Salina.
I had no idea that we had transportation to take people to their appointments and stuff offered through our senior center. So that's awesome.
Really awesome. And the fact that anybody can do it. We have a lot of people who are maybe single parents or they don't have reliable transportation, or there's no way their car is going to make it to Hutch or Salina or wherever, and they would be able to then take that bus.
We do a lot of college students and people to work, whatnot, but we only pick up until 3:30, so it is a little tight. But the more people we get, maybe we can expand.
And how early does it start?
8 o'clock.
8. Okay.
Now, if somebody hearing about this and they're interested in knowing more about that public transportation that you're offering, what number would they call to talk with somebody?
Well, our dispatch answers the phone there. It's 620-241-1848.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, it's a great service.
Do you have volunteers that work there, or is everybody paid?
We have some paid employees, but we do have a lot of volunteers. We did about 1,200 hours last year. I believe. So
that's a
about
lot.
100 hours a month on volunteers.
And what type of positions or jobs do your volunteers do?
We have a list always going, but right now we're in dire need of kitchen services, people just to do dishes or pick up dishes from the dining room, things like that. We also use the SIR program. It's called it's a Senior Employment Resource Program. And that's through the state. It's a federal program, but administered through the state. And we have two of them working there. And the state pays our payroll 100%.
Yeah, we've used them before. That's a great program. If you can find a good fit for your organization, that SIR program is a great program.
So you mentioned kitchen help, which is a great segue into your cafe just opened up.
You're right. We have the relaunch of the Silver Spoon. We are partnering with the Cedars, and they're actually doing the cooking for us. Today was country fried steak. We actually sold out today. So
wow.
Do you have to call ahead of time if you want to eat, or can you show up?
Well, we started to do that just to make sure we would have enough, and we got so much backlash from that we're kind of backing off of that. So if you want to call ahead, and we'd love the heads up, but we're not. It's not a requirement. So
So I'm looking at what type of issues are you seeing with your seniors? Surely, as they're discovering and talking and solving all the problems of the world, they discuss their own. I'm thinking housing is probably a major issue for our seniors. So kind of go into that a little bit, what they're saying.
Recently, we had some low-income housing open up over towards Walmart over there. And that, I think, probably we had 5 or 6 seniors take advantage of that could come regularly into the senior center.
And that was a real help for them to be able to.
It was. Any low-income housing is
Now, McPherson Housing Coalition is going to have some of that.
Awesome.
On Oak Street.
Oh, really?
We have some 1 units available,
Bring a flyer over.
Yeah, I think they're going to fill up so fast our heads are going to spin off.
I think so, too.
Access or whatever. Ours are for families and singles and couples. It's not just senior housing. So I don't know if that matters to them or not. Maybe they're not comfortable with living in a units that are.
I don't know.
That have other people.
Really, I have never met a senior that didn't like a neighborhood or anything like that.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that. That's going to be called the Sutherland Estates. It's permanent supportive housing, so it really is for the lower income seniors and families and whoever else
Well, there's a big
is going to
need
need
for
our help. Yeah, that's what I was saying. A lot of times for us, when we apply for grants, we're competing against these large groups, and we don't have the resources available to a guy who's been developing millions and millions of dollars worth of housing. And a lot of times they come in, they build their housing, and then they kind of leave, and they're not really concerned what's going on with their residents. And so that really concerns us a lot. We've seen that a couple of times, actually.
Yeah.
So besides housing, is there any other issues that the seniors
Well, just
are talking
groceries.
about?
We do give commodities out there to 55 and up.
When are those given out?
Every other month, but we have some left over, so we'll pick a distribution day. Then they can come any other time. But we do try to have a major push on one day to try to reach people. And they just had Kansas finally has raised their guidelines. So we've had a lot more people, and also the ones that qualify are people that have filled out a LEAP application that qualifies them for commodities, things like that.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing how it's just so much harder for people to make it anymore. Mm-hmm. Seniors that thought they had it all together, they had saved enough money, their Social Security, and they were going to be fine. And they can't, they're being pushed out of the market. Housing market, food, all the things that they need. Food prices have are outrageous.
Yeah, that's what we're
right
fighting
now.
at the Silver Spoon also.
Yeah, prices are just absolutely outrageous. Do your seniors take a hold of, do they do Brush Up Mac? Have you heard of them ever discussing that?
We have the applications there.
Okay,
I
good.
try to follow everybody, and I think I got an email from you guys with Brush Up Mac.
Do you think that some don't participate because there's a pride issue, or are they all renters so that maybe they don't need the assistance, or what do you think's going on with that?
A lot of our people are renters. Mm-hmm. We have both, though. I don't think anyone's asked me to help them fill out the Brush Up Mac application yet.
We really want to try to push that a little bit. Even if they're a renter, we don't necessarily, unless they have where they're all that yard work's being taken care of, but we allow that. So even if you're renting, we can come mow your lawn and pick up the leaves and the grass and all that kind of thing. We're not opposed to that. It's just if you're renting, we're not going to come in and pay to have something fixed for the landlord. But we really want to push that program on our seniors to have more and more really take advantage of that so they can stay wherever they are.
Right.
Now, you gave us a newsletter, your newest one, actually, and I want to ask you about the health opportunities that you offer. So my parents love this. They go to the senior center and they get their toenails trimmed. And so as you get older, that is a job that gets more difficult to do. Plus, sometimes our seniors have issues with their feet or they have diabetes, and so there's a certain way things have to be done. What other kind of health-related issues do you guys try to help with?
Well, with the foot care, we have an RN that's actually looking at your feet. And she's, if you come on a regular basis, she's watching your feet for anything, any signs or anything. And we do blood pressures. We try to offer some healthy classes, things like that. We partner with K-State. They come and do presentations like healthy foods and things like that. Mm-hmm. So our most important thing is reaching seniors that need a healthy meal. We have a Fund a Senior program with our Silver Spoon where we're trying to raise money to either get the ticket prices down lower to help these people, or somebody will say, keep the change to us, and we throw it into that fund so we can help someone have a hot meal that week or something like that. We also offer, with our leftovers, we make little to-go meals, and we charge $4. They're like frozen freezer meals for the weekend or something that has an entree and a starter or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so if someone would want to volunteer, or they are part of one of our businesses or industry, and they say, hey, we should be giving a donation to the Senior Center to help them out. Give them a phone number, give them an address, help us figure out how to get a hold of you.
Okay, it's still the same phone number, 620-241-1848, 112 East Euclid, or just come on in and come talk to me, and I'll show you around.
Yeah, you're providing a really important service for our seniors. They have a place to hang out. I imagine you kind of keep an eye on them to see.
Well, if they don't come in for a while, we'll call.
Yeah, so somebody's kind of keeping eyes on them all the time. If somebody disappears and all of a sudden you're not seeing them.
But you have to remember, we're not all old doddering seniors. We are active seniors, and we like to have fun and participate. We help everybody. Most of my volunteers are seniors that come in, and they, like I said, they just love to have fun.
So we would encourage somebody that would like to just, maybe they're new to town or they just retired and they're like trying to figure out what they want to do with themselves. Yeah. It's a great place for them to go, right?
Absolutely.
That would be an incredible place.
Just come on in and introduce yourself, and we
hang out,
show all our services. And
have
I had
coffee.
Somebody there this week, so
eat. They can eat. They can have coffee. They can hang out.
You can shoot pool.
They can shoot pool.
Play
they
cards.
can play bingo. I mean, it sounds like a really fun place, Karolyn. Are we going to be ready? We're not ready to retire yet, but
well, we're getting closer every day. But.
Well, yeah.
So, what are your hours? If, like she said, if there's somebody new to town and it's like, what time do you open, and then what time do you close? And is that Monday through Friday?
Well, we open at 8 and close at 4. The coffee groups come in about 9:30.
Okay.
So that's a great time to come in. It's Monday through Friday. We're having a special event in March. We haven't really, I think it's March 14th. We're having a pie judging contest and a chili feed. And we had it year before last. I've been off work. I had some health issues. So they didn't have it this year, unfortunately, but we are going to have it in March.
My husband and I went to that, and we took my parents. Really good chili, really great pie. I love taking advantage of what you guys do. There's a couple of things on different times that the Senior Center has hosted. And I just love it that, it is an active community. It is a vibrant place to hang out with older folks that have time on their hands too. And again, if you don't know somebody, if you're new to town, it's a great place to meet people and kind of get your feet underneath you about what's going on and that kind of thing.
I have another question when you get done. I
am so impressed with the transportation that you guys offer, and the cost that you charge for that is like nominal. So I absolutely love that our senior center offers
Yeah, they're
that.
doing a great job. So on a national level, do you guys connect on a national level at all? Do you have things that are going on nationally that you're aware of that's happening?
No, we really haven't reached out that far yet.
Yeah, I was just curious because, you see trends here. So in McPherson, Kansas, if our seniors are struggling with housing, they're struggling with food, it has to be happening all over the country. And so that's the thing that is so great about what you're doing is because you can connect the seniors to your local senior center, and they can keep an eye on somebody. They can make sure they have a meal. They can help them, maybe connect them with somebody that does housing like McPherson Housing Coalition. So that's the thing that our listeners have to think about too, is even though we're talking about McPherson Senior Center, this is a national issue that's affecting all of our seniors across the nation. I was in a meeting day before yesterday, and they were saying that in 10 years, over 50% of our seniors, of the population so let's say you have 100 homeless people, 50 of those will be seniors in the next 10 years. That's how fast that homeless population with the seniors is growing. That was startling and kind of freaked me out a little bit.
It's very sad, too.
When I think about my own parents, homelessness was never an issue. As they got older, they had resources or they had family, and we all in our family, we all take care of each other. But if your kids are living across the country or wherever, you might not even be aware that your parents are struggling. So
we get calls from people from out of state to reach out to seniors there.
Yeah.
You'll also be surprised how many are just living on Social Security. They don't have pensions. They don't have, and it's just all Social Security. And that was, to me, is kind of shocking.
And it's very frightening.
And Social Security is very minimum. It is so difficult to make it if that's your only income. Yeah.
Yes.
Especially if you're a single.
Exactly.
If you have a husband and wife, you're both getting Social Security, it's probably not terrible. But if you've got one person, it's really tough.
They're living under like $1,600, under $1,600 a month.
Yeah. Chris, you always have that very last question.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so if you had all the money in the world as it applies to what you're doing with the Senior Center, what would it be?
We were just joking about this.
See, it's always such a good question.
Well, I said if I ever won the lottery, we would have a second story on the senior center. But I think that right now, my goal, my focus personally as the director is I'm trying to get our Silver Spoon ticket price to $5. Because I think right now we're charging $8 or as a donation. And I just think that the tipping point would be that if they could afford $5 meal, that we could do it. So that's what the grant I'm searching for this year.
That is awesome. And, we have enough industry here. I can't imagine that somebody couldn't give you a little chunk of change enough to cover most of the meals of the people that are there.
I
mean, honestly.
It's around 15,000.
Yeah, whoever's out there listening, McPherson Senior Center could use about $15,000 to be able to pay for the meals for their seniors that are struggling. And maybe that's the only meal they get that day. I mean, they take some leftovers home. Maybe that's the only meal they get. Or maybe they take their meal, like I've heard before, where they split it up and they take half home and then they eat half there. Yes. I can imagine that's going on as well. So what an important thing that somebody could do is donate money to you. I mean, that's so simple. That's not, to me, that's not a crazy idea to be able to pull in enough money that none of the seniors have to pay for their meals.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Okay. I know. And you got to get people to listen to our podcast, Housing for Good, so that this could happen. If they don't hear us, then we can't help you.
So on that note, if you would be interested to be a part of our podcast, or you know someone that would be excellent to have a conversation with Chris and I and record a podcast on Housing for Good, drop us a line, leave us a review, tell us how we're doing. Housing for Good at McPhersonHC.org. Thank you for listening today.
Yeah, thank you for listening and have a great day.